back to normal with the red hair. And I have some awesome people with me tonight. So returning again, I have Aaron and Jack. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
That was very dramatic. Yes, because we're all about drama. Also have special guest Ben here, who's awesome.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And I'll let actually, we've got a pretty interesting thing to show you as well, so I'll let Ben do that a bit later. But I think today, we've been ignoring the anime topic a tiny bit too much, but we're going to try and get on that next week, because I think there's a few really important things that come out, and Aaron actually pointed this out today, which was the Saints Row 4 game. Oh, man.
Refused classification.
Oh, man.
Alongside State of Decay also refused classification. And both of them have been refused classification for drug use. In State of Decay, it's the names of the drugs that are used, which it seems like Microsoft is wanting to resubmit that with altered names, which hopefully will get it through. It's the Australian OFLC. Saints Row 4 is a bit further with the restricted. Saints Row 4, I've actually recently found out what the problems were, but a quote from OFLC is, in the board's opinion, Saints Row 4 includes interactive visual depictions of implied sexual violence which are not justified by context. And I've recently found out that this is to do with an alien anal probe weapon.
Really?
Which, yeah.
Okay, sure.
But it's really understandable why it's been refused. And I'm personally glad that OFLC have decided to announce reasons why it's been refused. And further, what they said was, in addition, the game includes elements of illicit or prescribed drug use related to incentives or rewards. Such depictions are prohibited by the computer games guidelines. So with the January 1st new guidelines that allowed Australia to have the adult I-18 plus classification, they've still imposed restrictions on whether or not games are allowed through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Drug use is still prevented.
So yeah, Saints Row has been refused classification by the board based on, again, pretty important stuff, and it is warranted, but it still brings up the problem of, are we still being censored too much? Yes, we don't really want to see sexual abuse, sexual violence, whatever you would like to call it, in a video game. But as far as the drugs go, I don't think it's fair to refuse a game on classification based on the fact they use drugs, because drugs are mentioned in movies and songs.
Oh, hell yeah.
More than I can count. Why should it be different in a video game?
Yeah. And I mean, the reason why we didn't have the 18 plus rating before, and why it's taken us a while to get it, and why we still have restrictions, is the whole, it's an interactive media, and so it's not just you're seeing people use drugs or shoot people or whatever. It's you're being given the opportunity to do these things. It is definitely still a game, and there's no relation between game and real life. But it's debatable.
I think it,
and like,
I was just like, oh my god. See, I hate this bit because it's like, wait, who goes first? Sorry, I've got a really quick thing to say. I think this is actually along the lines a lot to do with, okay, so everyone knows how in America there's these really big debates every so often where there'll be this mass murder, or they'll have something tragic happen. So generally it's the mass murdering side of things, but it could be anything that's really dangerous, whatever. And they just instantly start blaming it on games because it gives you the chance to do this exact same thing, because you're killing people, for example, Call of Duty, or you're driving cars really fast, and this encourages and trains people to do that sort of thing. So I think it might be sort of barking up the same sort of tree as that. But look, as with that, I'm also willing to say, look, if you can actually show that this is proving it, which I think in most cases has actually been disproved, I think you just putting something on it for the sake of just putting something on it. I don't see the point.
Yeah.
It gives people something to blame. When something like that happens, people don't like to face up to the fact that perhaps these things happen. They're always looking for outside factors to blame it upon.
Yeah.
And video games are the newest form of media, basically. So they are the ones that people are most scared of, especially the people who are in those places of authority who are older. I'm not trying to discriminate here. I'm just saying they didn't grow up.
Fair
with video
enough.
games.
Yeah.
So Ben,
I mean,
because
they have
finish off.
proven they have proven that there is no relation between killing people in games and killing people in real life on the larger scale of things. Like, perhaps, yes, there are one or two cases where video game has been an influence on someone to do it, but there's a lot of other things. Like, you could argue that the news coverage of mass murders and shootings and such is an influence, and that is far more of an influence than video games, and it's been proven that is. Like with school shootings, they've shown that news coverage of school shootings gives the school shooters the ability to be famous, and that's what they want. But yeah, with the like initially I assumed, well, trigger warning here, initially with the Saints Row for the sexual violence, I was assuming that, and a lot of people that I know were assuming it was giving you the option to actually go and rape people within the game. And I guess an anal probe is kind of like that, but it's not full on to the same extent as I was assuming it was.
Sorry, there's just ammo coming across my screen.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like woof, woof. Actually, well, even along those lines, if any of you've played, you know what, I can't even think of the game now. I'll see if I can find it. It's an old PS2 game where you were an alien and one of your main guns was an anal probe. And you went around and the whole game, no joke, was about fornicating with human women. It's literally this
game.
Yeah, I can't think of what it's called.
Experiment company too, that was.
I'm definitely going to say that within the aspects of something like that, now we have much more of a visual depictions of it because of newer graphic elements that allow us to see further in and stuff. And I do know the game you're talking about.
Yeah, Destroy All Humans it is.
Yeah.
That's it. Destroy All Humans. I found it.
And yeah,
coming back
that's
to
a
that
very different game. It's like that was a very cartoony, you know, very much a comedic take on that sort of stuff, and that sort of thing is really important. And my opinion on the whole thing, coming from the guy who brought you Bioshock Infinite, where the first violent thing you do is put your bloody thing in someone's head and it explodes. There is a point where it goes too far. And we have to, personally, because I'm in the industry, as an industry, we have to be very mindful of the fact that we do influence people when they play our games, and we do have some sort of social obligation to not go too far. And my opinion is Saints Row has gone too far. I don't see the
I can agree with that. Yeah,
it's not integral. If I can just quickly, it's not integral to the gameplay experience. It's not necessary. It's purely there for the shock factor, and they're going for the crazy, over the top, wacky thing. But trying to make something like sexual violence silly it's taking it too far, and it's being disrespectful, and just showing a real lack of empathy.
Getting back to my original point before we got waylaid with Destroy All Humans, murder in games doesn't directly influence murder in real life. However, rape culture within video games, within everything, does directly influence rape. Like, there's studies, there's everything. Like, if you look anywhere on the internet that isn't catering towards just men, you will find that things like that do directly influence real life.
I was
It's justifying the sexual abuse. Like,
Yeah.
That's what rape culture is. Like, not getting into it too much because we could be here for hours.
Yeah.
When you're in the mind of someone who is capable of sexual violence, any sort of justification for them is enough to make them feel like what they're doing is okay.
Yeah. Well, like laughing about it and playing off jokes allows people who are capable of such acts and who do commit such acts, it allows them to think, well, because people laugh about it, it's okay.
Well, this conversation's gotten...
Anyway, so let's just... So pretty much, I think... Well, actually, what a really cool thing would be is to actually have the option, depending on where Saints Row is released, because I don't... they've created this...
To be honest, I'd like to see it completely cut from the game.
In
every region.
Okay.
And maybe with the drug use, the option of them releasing a toned down, renamed, incentives to use these drugs for, like, say, Australia. But the other reason it was refused classification, that would be ideal if they would remove it completely.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Definitely.
All right, well, let's get off that topic because it's getting doomy and gloomy, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Who thought games could be so philosophical? But anyway, so we do have Ben on as well, and he is an awesome bloke. He's actually going to be at AVcon himself. Fingers crossed. Well, is it 100% that you're going to be there with your latest creation?
It's pretty. The game itself will be there, and it's pretty certain I will be. I'm not sure exactly what days I'll be there personally yet, but I'll be there.
Make sure you go pester him, by the way, guys. Go to the indie room. So yeah, anyway, so I'm actually really interested. What are you working on at the moment?
Yeah.
Sneak peeks!
Okay. So, well, a few things, but the main thing we're going to be showing off at AVcon is a game in partnership with a company called Monkey Stack, who are a big promoter of AVcon.
Yeah.
You might have heard of their IP, which is Double Happy Rabbits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been working with them on their first game of the series, which is kind of a click and point adventure game. So we're going to show off the demo to everyone, which will be the first time anyone outside the studio sees it.
That would be awesome.
It's going to be pretty cool. That's what I'm working on my late nights at the moment, trying to get that all nice and ready for you guys.
Awesome.
I'm really excited by that. It's just, when you show off your work, is always nerve-wracking. So, it's going to be great.
Actually, I was going to say, I've got a click and point adventure fan next to me. I'll fill you in later. It's alright. My girlfriend's just sitting next to me and I'm like, she likes those crime-solving clicky things and all those. So she might really like this. So,
So we're going to have a booth there and like that. So that's going to be... So we have the shops there, and as I said, I'll probably be there a lot of the time as well. So feel free to come up and say hello and chat to us about the game.
That's it.
Give it a play. Let us know what you think.
This is really appealing to me because, like, a few years ago, before I would have called myself a gamer, I had a very slow old computer, slow for its time. Like, I got it maybe 5 years after it had been released.
I know Double Happy Rap. Sorry, I know who Double Happy Rabbits are now. I know who you're talking about. I was so out of the loop.
I taught myself to play, and I started my gaming, like, actually immersing myself in gaming with point-and-click adventure games. So this is really like, wow, I just want to see.
Yeah, definitely. I grew up playing on my PC, Quest for Glory, Heroes Quest, like King's Quest, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They were still are probably my favourite games, the Quest for Glory series, 1 through to 4. I think 5 was a bit iffy. So yeah, I'll be definitely... What sort of time period is it set? Is it like a modern day futuristic, or is it like a medieval fantasy thing?
Oh, it's typical Double Happy. Really have to check out their website and the comics to get an idea of exactly what they're like, but it's true to their style.
Yeah. No, definitely going to be looking forward to seeing this at AVcon.
Yeah, actually, it's going to be really cool. And seeing as it's those guys as well, it should be quite hilarious. Yeah, so guys, their website's actually doublehappyrabbits.com, so you can go and check them out. Go check out their stuff, because it was at AVcon last year, I believe. Was that where I think that's where I saw it? They were at AVcon last year? Or is that just me being trippy?
They're a big supporter of it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so definitely go check that out.
Yeah, they were definitely... I'm just on the site now, and I remember seeing one of their things during the opening ceremony, I believe.
Yes, that's it.
One of their little cartoons or whatever.
Yeah.
Where they're like beating each other up.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
What?
No, the indie games room at AVcon is always a great place to go.
Oh man, it's amazing. I love it every year.
I'll spend most of my time in that room, I believe, trying to track down and talk to people and see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm really keen to get in there. I mean, as I said before, this is my first AVcon because I've only just come out to Adelaide. So it's going to be good to get out there and meet everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'll really enjoy it.
Oh man, I remember last year, I think I spent all my time playing Xenoraptor. Did you guys play that in the indie last year?
No.
Oh,
I think I did.
Sick. I won't put it up on the thing, but if you, the screen. But if you look up Xenoraptor, I think it's just Xenoraptor.net. They're still in beta, but it's like Asteroids. So you have your ship in 2D space. You fly around, you shoot things, but there's a whole lot of crap that comes your way monster-wise. So there's like bulldozer ships that you can't damage from the front and really fast ones with blades spinning around. They've got laser beams and bombs and whatever. And you're flying a dragon, and it's like super awesome. It's got heavy metal music, and you fly around shooting laser beams. But the best thing is it's actually multiplayer. Up to about 8 people, either co-op or versus. So it's just awesome.
I remember playing that actually. And it was pretty awesome.
I think that topped everything at the indie games, in the indie games room last year. They had like a whole setup. It was fantastic. So anyone who saw that, yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, the indie games room last year was pretty spectacular.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any sneak peeks for us on like what's happening in the room, or is it all just going to be we have to wait and see?
I don't exactly know what is going to be in the room besides the demo itself. So
yeah.
I don't know if I can show you that.
Ah, damn! I was gonna think let's get some sneak peeks out of all the guys that aren't actually like on the AVcon community, so we can get away with it. But that's not gonna happen. Damn it! Oh man!
I didn't have enough notice to find out if I could do that.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, so I think we all can't wait for it, but it's going to be sick anyway. Actually, there's probably one more thing I was going to have a yak about just before we go on, because we were going to talk about Deadpool finally being released. Because Deadpool is awesome. If you haven't heard of Deadpool, go look him up, because he is amazing. But, so for anyone that is going to AVcon, there will be the esports area, so... I can give you a few tidbits about that, which I was going to do anyway, because it's awesome. We're actually going to have a spectating area, but you'll also be allowed into the player area too, within a certain distance. I believe they're going to cordon part a bit of it off, so you can't, go up to the players and start pestering them and going, oh, like this, flailing your arms around. But you'll be able to go and cheer the players on. There will also be like a stage area out the front. It'll be myself and Locke from SA casting the StarCraft stuff, but the League of Legends stuff, they've got a couple of the interstate guys flying down, which is going to be sick. So if you're into League, yeah, definitely tune in. I believe the first day it's going to be StarCraft for most of the day, and then the night will be League of Legends on stage. So I think that's pretty much confirmed. So yeah, guys, if you want to look at that, you want to go and watch all that sort of stuff, you want to go tune in, you're like, oh, I haven't seen what esports is. What's an esports is? Well, this is what esports is. You can go check it out. You can have a chat with us, the players, and there'll also be a lot of fans there that will pretty much give you the lowdown, and it's pretty awesome. So go check that out as well as checking out Ben's stuff in the indie room. Come down here into
I'll probably be lingering between the two areas anyway.
Yeah. I was going to say, I expect you to be running in and out like half the time.
Exactly. Love my esport.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. the final timetable, I'm pretty sure, is up on avcon.org.au right now.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, you should definitely go check out the final timetable. We've got just over 2 weeks, 15 days and 21 hours before AVcon starts. And AVcon is on the 12th to the 14th of July. So Friday the 12th, come in the afternoon or evening for the opening ceremony, and
it's gonna be
I think
sick.
we have anime screenings.
It'll just be Evangelion 3.0, but that will be worth it enough. I have watched it. I wish I didn't watch it now so I could save it for the night, but it is amazing. I'm pre-blowing your minds, guys, and they're going to get blown again anyway. Seriously, catch up on the Evangelion series, watch 1.0, 2.0, come in for 3.0 on the Friday. It will be sick. It will be sick.
Yeah. No, come in for the opening ceremony.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, come in early.
The ceremony is going to be amazing. Every year, I've been working and I haven't been able to see the opening ceremony live.
Oh, you're missing out.
But the opening ceremony is always amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year's was really spectacular.
That was the bomb. It was like watching the Logies, but for everything else. It was just like...
For stuff that we actually care about.
Yeah, for stuff that we care about. I think that's an appropriate comment. Anyway, so yeah, guys, go check out all the AVcon stuff. Only thing that's not up there at the minute, I believe, is who's going to be in the indie room at the moment, hence me pestering. I think it's just specifics, so there's no esports tournament details up there, hence me giving you the time. But it's going to be fairly about that. There's no 100% details on the indie room just yet, but most of the stuff's up there, so go check out avcon.org.au. It was, yeah?
Yeah.
I have it right. And yeah, go check them out. Go look at the schedule. You should be able to see everything there. Anyway, so just finally, before we actually do tune off, Deadpool.
Deadpool. I'm actually downloading it right now.
Now that you said that, I'm going to go on Steam and see if I can get it now too.
I bought it on Steam. It's actually for sale for $30 on Steam.
Oh, really? Your kid? Oh, okay.
And I was like, wow, that's pretty decent. It's a 5.8 gig download, so it's
you know what? No, it doesn't matter. It's sold.
I'll be playing it tonight. I can promise you that.
Yeah, it's awesome to see other superheroes getting their own video game. Anti-hero, really, in Deadpool's case.
Deadpool's awesome.
He's definitely my favourite comic book character. He's one of the few that I will buy any and every comic I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
And words cannot explain how excited I am to play this game and play as the anti-hero, really. He is... Everything about him is... just breaks every rule about heroes in comic books, really.
Yeah.
Well, he is Deadpool, the merc with a mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to try and find the trailer for it. Gameplay trailer. Actually, no, what was it? Trailer 2013. I want to get the gameplay trailer because it was just... Some of the stuff I saw was just insane. It was just hilarious.
Well, it will be hilarious. The entire game, Deadpool is hilarious. And a Deadpool game is going to be hilarious. Like,
it has to be there.
I saw a advertising stunt that they'd done for the Deadpool game where they'd taken a billboard that was for Spider-Man, and it looked like someone had just sprayed it red with the Deadpool eyes, and it was like deadpoolgame.com or something, and it was just like very, very much what Deadpool would have done, and I'm just
awesome.
really looking forward to seeing it and playing it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be awesome.
Wait, so Deadpool's part of the Marvel universe, yeah?
Yeah. He's actually technically a part of the X-Men universe.
Because wouldn't that be sick? Because you know how... wouldn't it be awesome to see something like... Because I know... What is it? Avengers is the Marvel... Isn't that the Marvel universe? Am I right in saying that? Yeah? Wouldn't it be awesome to see Deadpool and join the Avengers?
It wouldn't happen.
I know, but wouldn't it just be awesome? It's just an awesome idea.
He'd more likely be someone who's fighting the Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sort of he fights for whoever pays him the most. So he gets hired by Shield. It is Shield, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
All
Shield use him quite often to, like when he in the Deadpool comics, they hire him to kill off the undead presidents because they don't want their heroes to be killing presidents because that's less than patriotic.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So I could, yeah, well, that could actually happen. That would be sick. I know it's completely irrelevant, but you know. I just watched I just watched one of the trailers. That's awesome. Oh man. Oh, that's just amazing.
Yeah. But like $30 for a full-on game, like on release, pretty much. Like, it's pretty wow.
That's
It came
sick.
out
It's
today,
interesting,
so
really, how prices of games are going in general. Like probably 5 years ago, it was pretty consistent. Where you knew what you're going to probably pay for a game that came out. Nowadays, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You get sometimes like you look at a game and go, wow, you get $90, that's expensive, and then you get games like this, which it's good to see a lot more diversity in the market there.
Yeah. Well, like,
Yeah, there's
especially like you'd be glad of this as well. With like Steam, like with Steam Greenlight, and really paving the way for indie developers to reach much wider audiences than they ever would have like 20 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much more opportunity out there now for devs to get their products out there. Steam's great for PC. You have all the other platforms as well have really good ways of getting out there. You got engines like Unity.
Yeah.
It's a cool time to be a dev.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I remember a few years ago when Microsoft released their first incarnation of the XNA developer kit, and that was like pretty amazing because it was a developer kit that allowed you to develop for both Xbox and PC simultaneously.
Mm.
And like, yeah, things like that, like especially with both Sony and Microsoft releasing consoles that are x86 64-bit consoles, they're really paving the way for development between all three consoles to be fairly similar.
Oh my god.
Definitely. The new consoles will make that even more interesting to see how they go. We've all probably read the reports of how they're looking at indies, and not sure how it's going to go down. But
Yeah.
still, all the other consoles that are coming out as well, all the smaller ones. It's going to be really intriguing to see how it all pans out.
Yeah.
Not to change the topic or anything, but yeah, I am going to do it anyway because this is actually like super cool. And I'm actually going to buy this, I think, immediately. But I was just like, I'm going to go look for Deadpool, and I just go on Steam, and this game comes up called Planetary Annihilation. Now, does anyone remember Supreme Commander back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. This game, I think, is pretty much from not from those people, but from people that like that idea. So there was Total Annihilation first, and then that morphed into Supreme Commander. Then there was Subcom 2, which don't even talk about because it's bad. It's okay, but compared to the original Subcom, it's just not that great. But this one's universal. It's planetary. It's not just a map. It's planetary, and it looks sick. And it's on early. It's in alpha at the minute for early game, and you can get early game access. And I'm just like, oh my god, this looks so awesome. I just want to buy it, so I might do a bit of a yak about it next week. But I just wanted to say that because I just saw it, and I'm just like, oh my god. My fanboy lights are on. They're blinking. They're fizzing maniacally. However,
That's also an interesting one in general, because they're asking, it's $90, I think.
Yeah, $90.
And getting an alpha. So that's a really interesting way of going about.
Yeah, that's
selling their product.
If it's anything like Supreme Commander was, it will be the bomb. Because before I played StarCraft, got into all that, I was Supreme Commander. I played Supreme Commander like higher level, just below TLO level. Amazingly, that was awesome. That's why I moved to StarCraft originally, to be honest. But yeah, so I was just below TLO. I was actually in the top 100, I think. which was sick. And Supreme Commander was an awesome game as well. But so I really played that. And when I played Subcom 2, it really let the franchise down, I think. Compared to the epicness that was Supreme Commander, they really dumbed it down. Because, like, if you think, mineral and micromanagement is bad in StarCraft, you haven't played Supreme Commander. It's horrifying. So you just zoom out. You're like, you know what? I don't even care about graphics. Zoom out. Just play it from the minimap, and you can actually do that. But oh my god, I'm actually gonna buy this right now. I'm not gonna get Deadpool. You guys can play that, but I'm gonna get this. I can't help it because it looks awesome, and I'll tell you about it next week. Anyway, I'm gonna stop fanboying and let you continue. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I've lost where we were.
Sorry, I've lost.
I think we've completely lost it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not a lot else to say. Deadpool's coming out. It's awesome to see more and more comic book characters getting more and more attention.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! I think it's really cool being able to sort of incorporate just the general public into that sort of world, because I mean, I suppose with the Avengers and them bringing out all those sort of movies out and bringing comic books to the mainstream, like if someone taught you about that and you're knowledgeable, you're not just some weird person that collects comic books, which I suppose is the most case, like back in the day anyway. But
I'm actually really glad about this too, about comic books and being a comic book nerd or a video game nerd is becoming more and more accepted. Like, recent statistics I read say that at least 45% of gamers are not men. Like, 45% of gamers are women.
Oh yeah.
Which is something that nobody has ever thought, well, hey, what about them? Like, a lot of people talk about games being developed for men, and they're like, and when women complain, like with Anita Sarkeesian, with her feminist frequency, a lot of people have complained, saying, well, there's not enough girls in gaming to aim games at them. But it's not true. There is a lot of girls in gaming.
Yeah.
And completely missing that is well, you're missing out on 45% of your market.
Definitely.
And like, gaming nerds aren't just the fat kid who lived in his mother's basement for 20 years after he'd left school anymore. Like in the 80s, maybe
man, back in the day,
a nerd was like, but it's nothing like that now. We have complete cultures like AVcon. We have internet.
AVcon.
AVcon would be the big Aussie one. AVcon and Supernova. But like even in America, you got PAX, which are going to Australia. Yeah, Australia.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Supernova was just last weekend, and AVcon week, so they're not long till PAX.
Oh, I can't wait for PAX. Okay, I'm not. You know what? I'm just not going to say anything. Otherwise, we'll just keep going. So I'll be quiet.
Yeah. Well, are we getting close to wrap up time now?
Yeah. I think that's actually about it. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, if you ever have any comments, you can actually see our tweeters. They're not Twitters, they're tweeters. Down there, you can see all of our Twitters. If you ever want to ask us a question individually, or if you want to ask a generalized question, you can ask us individually down there. Ask anything generalized. You can send an email to avconreview@gmail.com. I've set up an email for it, so you can do that. You can comment on the YouTube video as well. But if you have something that you're like, I really want them to cover, or I really want them to discuss, or I've got a really strong opinion, or I think that you are bad, send it to the email.
We also have the AVcon Review Facebook.
Yep. Which is I can never remember what the address is.
It's just facebook.com/AVconReview.
Awesome. We also have the website, which I think is just AVconReview.com.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys can go check out there. All our written reviews are there. If I've gotten that wrong, .com.au, but yeah, if you get lost, just Google it. I'm sure you'll be fine. But guys, we're going to sign off. So thank you for tuning in, and peace.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.